Yes, indeed. Welcome. Fabiano Caruana is here with us in the studio. The game with Maxim Vachier-Lagrave just finished in a draw, not surprisingly, for this tournament so far. So how would you assess your participation at the moment in this event?
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange tournament. I missed a huge chance yesterday of completely winning. During the game, I started to feel absolutely exhausted for some reason. Like I couldn't calculate a single move. And I was trying to sit there, trying to calculate, and then I got low on time. And yesterday was a big miss. Today, I think, was a very stable game.
How was it to play on Thanksgiving, by the way? Happy Thanksgiving for
Happy
you,
Thanksgiving, yeah. That's, well, you know, as chess players, we play during all sorts of days, and I've played on my birthday and during, Christmas as well, yeah, and all sorts of occasions, so it's not too unusual. And I think tonight will be a nice celebration. Yeah, and at least I didn't lose. That's the main thing, yeah?
That's important, yes.
A bad game.
I think also it's important, it was an important game. Yes, by the way, the game between Richard Rappert and Alireza just finished in a draw. Yes, after repetition. So, sorry for this break. Let's come back to this one. I think it was also important for the standings and for overall standings of Grand Chess Tour. Have you thought about it a little bit?
Not too much. It's, again, very unusual. A player who withdrew, well, out of necessity. Christoph got ill in some way, so hopefully he recovers. But again, very unusual yet. So like last year, we're missing a player from the tournament. So it's for me, it's a bit of a strange situation because I'm going to have 3 blacks in a row.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I guess it's not the biggest deal, but it's very unfortunate, of course, for the tournament, and also. I feel bad for Jan Christoph because it's always unpleasant to come all this way, and you get ill or something like that, and you can't play anymore. So that's quite unfortunate.
Yeah, it's affected also your situation. I think now there are no chances that you will end up in the last place. I'm sorry to say so.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the case, but I mean, worst case scenarios are not possible anymore.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, I'm hoping not to have a bad tournament, so we'll see. So far, everyone's having the same tournament.
Yes.
Maybe we'll be one big happy family at the end of the tournament, carrying first through last place. Could happen.
It is possible, yes.
It's probably not going to happen, but I think today we played a correct game. Like, I don't think anything happened that was special. It was a bit sharp. But okay, I think this is kind of known theory.
It was played in Rapid and Blitz. They mentioned the game.
Actually, it was played. Yeah, Lekwang and Alireza played the game. But I think that Maxime made it interesting at this moment because I think that the game between Alireza and Lekwang was white, was like this, something like this, basically. I forget exactly which version they got this endgame in, but it was this endgame, which is equal. And Maxime made it interesting with this move. Leads again by force to this situation with like 2 pieces versus
rook and
versus
pawn,
rook. Yeah,
yes.
I get the pawn by force, quite important. And I think it's kind of forcing because like he doesn't want to get this kind of situation where if I put my rook on c2, he's suddenly stuck. He can't move his pieces. And also if bishop c1, I can take on f2, but also I have this move rook c2. I wasn't 100% sure, but I calculated some lines where I'm grabbing this pawn, and then very often I also grab this pawn where I play like c5 here, and my a pawn becomes very fast. But also I thought I can take on f2.
When did you get this ending? What was your feeling? Like, you were a bit shocked, or it was kind of normal?
No, well, I kind of knew that it's possible, and I didn't know the details, but I figured that it's equal, and it was easy to figure out the lines. Like, I was calculating various moves here. Of course, white has... actually, there was like an option to play rook c2, I think. But then this was kind of important, I think, that bishop b4, rook b2, then suddenly he has his knight d3. This is very unpleasant. And then he gets this one, and he attacks c7 as well. So I take here, and I was looking at some various moves here, like knight d7, trying to get to c5. But always I can attack his pawns, like knight d7, rook c2, or even rook a2 very often is coming. And then, if the bishop's on b4, I have a5. And, okay, I wasn't surprised by this, but this leads to a forcing sequence, because I liquidate some pawns, so here it's clear that black cannot really risk too much here, because it's only one pawn left, and for him to capture this pawn, there's only one way. He has to put the bishop on a5 and knight on c5. Because if he puts knight on b8, like let's say here he plays knight d7, f5, knight b8, then he gets in trouble with a4, a5, sorry. I guess it's not real trouble, but I thought, okay, maybe my pawn runs to a4, or maybe I can just trade pawns with the draw. So
So he needs to put the bishop on a5 in order to do it, to block the pawn, right?
Yeah, there's no other way. Like also knight c6, I can move my king, like king h7, I thought. And again, if knight
and
b8,
again the
then
same
a5,
yes.
So he put the bishop there. I was kind of expecting knight d7 first, but I don't know if it makes a difference. Okay, here I was like looking at various moves. They all looked like a draw to me. Like I thought f4 first, but then I thought maybe h4. I don't know. Maybe h4. Like if gh4, then suddenly he gets the stable square for his knight, which of course is also a draw. And if king g7, I thought maybe h5. Puts the knight on g4. Okay, I didn't. Anyway, with the knight on g4, he can't move. But I was like trying to be super, super accurate. Okay, I played rook c2, so now h4. I just advanced my king. There's no point. And okay, he went here, here, king g1 because I'm threatening f3, and we just repeated moves. I was thinking sometime about h5 here, with the point that okay, knight c5, then g4, take, knight a6, g3. Anyway, king f1, I didn't see a way forward, but at least here, like he has to maybe worry.
Because if you go to g1, king f3, yes.
Yeah, and then he goes to like g4, for example. Here, okay, here I actually don't want to do this because now I'm the one who has to prove the draw. But then I was thinking, well, yeah, I play h5 and he plays king f1, so g4 is not possible. So I play like king f7, knight c5, g4, take, again, knight a6, g3, but then I thought knight d3, and I was like, maybe I'm losing my f-pawn, like g3, bishop b6, so he threatens knight f4, and I thought, anyway, like, worst case, this position, like, everything is a draw at this moment, because, okay, he's left with one pawn, but why should I do this? So I just played rook c1, king f2.
And just forced
we just,
the draw.
Just repeated moves.
Yes, of course. I mean, it's also Thanksgiving today. I was wondering if you saw this tweet from Magnus yesterday that he was celebrating like 10th anniversary of winning the World Championship title. And he also published this photo where he jumped inside of the swimming pool fully, with his clothes on. And so, Fabi, at the moment when you become the world champion, what are you going to do? What is the craziest thing you will do? Let's agree from now.
Oh wow, the craziest thing. I don't know. I can't say yet. I think this has to be spontaneous, right?
Yes, maybe, but
if I don't think it's like when, because I think it's more if. But if I become world champion someday, then definitely I'll do something crazy. But I'm not sure yet. Let's keep it spontaneous.
Exactly, yes, okay. I hope I will be invited to take some photos, yes?
Of course.
Agreed.
There will be some, well, we don't know what it will be, but... No, I thought that, Magnus had a good celebration, of course, in 2013. I think there was also some people who, like when it was winter, let's say in Vachier-Lagrave, if they won the tournament, they would like jump into the North Sea.
Yeah, I remember such bets, yes.
Yeah, so this is kind of crazy. I mean, you don't want to like win a tournament and then you get carried out into the North Sea and nobody ever sees you again. So maybe there's some like safer
ways to celebrate.
Yeah. Magnus did it by jumping in the fountain, right? This is a bit safer.
Yes. For sure. I mean, you'll have the candidates in April, yes, in Canada, so maybe we can also discuss this, but okay. Let me give you the chance to celebrate properly Thanksgiving. Thank you so much, Fabio, for the interview, and all the best in the next rounds.
Thanks, Nastya.
Thank you, Anastasiya. And because it's Thanksgiving, let's wind it up, Peter.
Yeah.